environment. Our distinguished faculty, extensive resources, and rich exposure create a fertile ground for clinical training and practical experience.
At UFYLC, we skillfully bridge the gap between academic learning and the real-world practice of law. This dedication to merging theory with practice allows us to deliver exceptional legal education that meets the evolving demands of the legal profession. The Ranka National Moot Court competition, graciously hosted by the University 5-year Law College in Jaipur, serves as a significant tribute to the far-reaching vision of the Ranka Charitable Trust. Founded in 1980 under the esteemed leadership of the late Dr. N.M. Ranka, a highly respected senior advocate. This trust pioneered the introduction of moot court competitions to the legal scene in Rajasthan.
I request Director Dr. Akhil Kumar and Deputy Directors Dr. Sandeep Singh and Dr. Ms. Aarti Sharma to escort our dignitaries to the dais.
धुआं धुआं सी कहीं हो ना जाए जिंदगी, तू एक नज़र पीछे मुड़कर अपनों को तो देख, बस एक आदत कर देती है जिंदगी को राख, तू बस एक नज़र पीछे मुड़कर अपनों को तो देख।
यह उदाहरण इस वर्ष की मूट कोर्ट प्रतियोगिता के विषय को स्पष्ट करता है, जो कंपनी कानून और मादक द्रव्य कानून पर केंद्रित है। पिछले वर्षों में न केवल राजस्थान बल्कि भारत में भी नशीले पदार्थों के मामलों की संख्या में काफ़ी वृद्धि हुई है। विधि और न्याय के इस मंच पर हम सभी नशा मुक्त भारत के लिए एक नई दिशा का निर्माण करने का आज प्रयास करेंगे। आज का यह मंच हमें नशीली दवाओं के प्रभाव और उनसे निपटने के उपायों पर गहराई से विचार करने का अवसर प्रदान करता है।
दीप ज्योति ही पर ब्रह्म, दीप ज्योति जनार्दनः, दीपो हरतु मे पापम, संध्या दीप नमोस्तुते. Meaning, I fold my hands before the light that brings prosperity, auspiciousness, good health, abundance of wealth, and destruction of the enemy's intellect. Here, darkness symbolizes enemy's intellect, and with the arrival of light, darkness disappears. Likewise, light destroys darkness. So to seek the divine blessings of knowledge, wisdom, and learning by Goddess Saraswati, let's begin the ceremony by lighting of lamp accompanied by Saraswati Vandana recited by students of UFYLC.
विचार सार परमा आद्यां जगद व्यापिनी वीणा पुस्तक धारिणी अभयदा जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्वाटिकमालिका विदधती पद्मासने संसिधा वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवती बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्।
Every success is a tribute to the education and friendships cultivated at your alma mater. To pay respect to our alma mater, I humbly request everyone to stand in respect of our Kulgeet.
तपोभूमि महिमामय ज्ञान सदन विज्ञान निकेतन जयति विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय गुरुकुल पावन कला पुंज तपोभूमि महिमामय ज्ञान सदन विज्ञान निकेतन जयति विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय प्रतिष्ठा अखिल विश्व की यह उद्घोष हमारा जले चेतना दीप यही पर दौड़त मिलती तारा कर्म क्षेत्र यह आदर्शों का संस्कृति का सूर्योदय ज्ञान सदन विज्ञान निकेतन जयति विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय वन की सौरभ को दिश दिश में फहराए कर्मठ तन में निर्मल मन का नवालोक जगाए शान गुलाबी नगरी की है इसका ब्राह्मण निर्भय ज्ञान सदन विज्ञान निकेतन जयति विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय राजस्थान विश्वविद्यालय
The law of nature says, plant seeds of happiness, hope, success and love. It will come back to you in abundance. So let's felicitate our guest with planters so that they reside in a healthy environment. I request Head and Dean, Department of Law, Dr. Sanjala Thanvi ma'am, to felicitate our Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Aravind Kumar, Judge, Supreme Court of India, with a planter. On the same note, I request Dr. Akhil Kumar, Director UFLC, to present the planter to our guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Justice M.M. Srivastava. Continuing further, I request Ms. Savita Kothari to felicitate our special guest, Honorable Ms. Jain. Further, UFLC Ranka National Moot Court Competition to present a planter to Professor Jain Singh. To present a planter to Professor Jain Singh. Sir is accompanying us on behalf of our Honorable Vice-Chancellor, who could not be present due to some urgency. I request Deputy Director Ms. Aarti Sharma to felicitate Mr. J.K. Ranka. Further, I request Dr. Aarti Rathi, Convener 12th UFYLC Ranka National Moot Court, to felicitate Mr. Siddharth Ranka, Secretary Ranka Public Charitable Trust.
A wise man said, "In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear for failure. To overcome this failure, one needs motivation, guidance, and the right knowledge. Our team leaders have been a constant source of all of them." Dr. Akhil Kumar, Director, University 5-Year Law College, is a distinguished academician and an energetic and dynamic administrator. Under his able leadership, UFYLC has achieved unprecedented success. Dr. Kumar has previously held positions as the Vice Principal and an Associate Dean for Student Welfare at universities lies in the field of corporate laws. I would invite Sir to deliver the welcome address. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us. Justice retired judge of the Rajasthan High Court, who serves as the vice chairperson of the Ranka Public Charitable Trust, and continues to be an unwavering beacon of guidance and support for the Ranka National Moot Court Competition. Under the able leadership of Mr. J.K. Ranka, the Ranka Public Charitable Trust has pioneered the moot court competitions in Jaipur, successfully organizing over
Honorable Vice-Chancellor, on account of some condolence, has not been present here. Dr. Sanjula Thanviji, the Dean of this wonderful law faculty, Shri Akhil Kumar ji, Dynamic Director of this University 5-Year Law College, my mother, respected Urmila ji, my wife Renu, sister Savita, Kamar Saab, my dear students coming from far and wide, east and west, north and south, representing 17 states. And certainly what Dr. Akhil Kumar ji said, it's a unique gathering of 64 universities, 64 colleges, universities, NLUs who have assembled in this moot court competition, and there would be a tough challenge for all the participants this year. Siddharth and my Rajpurohit Sahab, Sankla Sahab, my friend Dr. Anil Mehta, BT Kaul Sahab, and so many learned people here, mostly doctors here, except myself, who happens to be just a lawyer. I found memories of this institution because I was a student of this university, this law college, and about 40 years back, 45 years back, just opposite this Humanities hall, we had the law block just opposite. this part, and we used to learn from the wonderful professors at the time. Just to mention to the honorable judges, Honorable Justice G.S. Singh Sahab, former Judge Supreme Court of India, Justice Ajay Rastogi ji, former Judge Supreme Court, and so many judges of Rajasthan High Court have been part of this institution, have studied in law here, and have achieved what this college or institution has given to them. And this goes to the credit of the wonderful atmosphere, professors, teachers, and other people. I, on my own behalf and on behalf of Ranka Public Charitable Trust and family member, welcome the honorable judges in this Chota Kashi, pink city, land of warriors, palaces, forts, and having history behind us. All have been kind enough to grace this prestigious flagship event, which is most sought of and has gained prominence over the years. When I requested Honorable Justice Aravind Kumar ji, and I came to know that he has a great liking for being with the students, especially our future generation, I requested, sir, we need your presence to boost the morale of our students who would be coming from far and wide. He accepted immediately on an email and a WhatsApp message, yes, I will be with you, don't worry. And I'm told, of course, I'll be hearing him, and everyone would be hearing that he's a wonderful orator, a wonderful judge who reached from a small place from Bangalore, Karnataka High Court, to become High Court judge, then Chief Justice, and then now adorning the high seat of Honorable Judge of Supreme Court. Honorable Justice M.M. Srivastava Sahab, our dynamic Chief Justice of this court, our court, has always been a guiding spirit and a force. Whenever I request him that, sir, we are organizing this competition, this function relating to law and other relative activities, he also in the same direction, because as a student of law, which I am, and he also claims, he readily accepts, and in almost all functions related to moot court or other functions, he accepts our invitation, and I'm so grateful to him for being with us this afternoon. He came from Jaipur yesterday, had a tiring journey, I know, but for the call of the students, future generation, he's always there. My elder brother, Justice N.K. Jain Sahab, as told earlier, that he was my bench partner for some time, and that was the time when I was just elevated, and that initial grooming which I had with him for about 8-9 months, that was sufficient for me to be a reasonably good judge of this High Court. That is what I gained and got guidance from him at that time. As conveyed, 64 universities, NLUs from north and south, a wonderful atmosphere, a great fellowship for the students coming from wide and large, and welcome all the students, and I certainly wish every team to be a winner, though of course ultimately the best team will win. We have a good judging panel, transparent, there will be so transparency, I'm sure, because judges from different fields, different experience are there. In the final, we have a Honorable Justice Deepak Maheshwari, who would be judging as well as would be the guest of honor in the valedictory. He accepted my request. Sir, you have to judge the final. He accepted. And retired judge, District Judge Kamal Datta ji, she also accepted, and 3 other persons. Just Professor B.T. Kaul is here, who came from Delhi, and 2 senior advocates are there. At this juncture, I fondly remember my late father, Dr. N.M. Ranka Sahab, the doyen of the bar, a highly respected professional throughout the country, excelled as a lawyer, having risen from a small place of like Byawar, and came to be known throughout the country for his taxation and corporate laws command over the subject. He wrote more than 700 articles for the benefit of professionals and chaired several national conferences, conventions, and he was actively engaged in not only law but medical as well as education field, having been in the Subodh Shiksha Samiti for more than 3-4 decades, in Amar Jain Medical Relief Society for more than 4 decades, as the pillar who took these institutions to great heights. And as conveyed by Dr. Rakhi ji, that this moot court competition, which started in about 2010, was the brainchild of his as well as Dr. Mridula Saxena ji, Mridula Srivastava ji, another dynamic director who was earlier and who started this activity in this institution, and today we are in the 12th round. Because of COVID, we had to skip 2 years, but nevertheless, thereafter we are regularly conducting this competition, and it has become a flagship event. After that, he started with Manipal University, another dynamic, renowned university of repute, and this year we are having the 9th moot court competition with Manipal University next month. Thereafter, after his leaving for heavenly abode, I was approached by 3 more universities. Sir, we want to tie up with your trust, since you are pioneer in this field of organizing moot court competitions and being a student-centric activity. I, with the consent of my family members, accepted, and we had similar MOU with Vivekanand Global University, Apex University, and last year one university from Haryana approached us. That was also unique. SGT University, they also came, finding all these things and we had similar MOU with them. My father was a staunch follower of Gandhiji. We celebrated 2 days back. He installed several marble statues of Mahatma Gandhiji, especially in central schools, district courts, several schools, central jails throughout the country, even at small places, so to say at Guwahati, Arunachal Pradesh, and especially I would like to mention, because the honorable judges are here, Rajasthan High Court permitted us to install a Gandhi statue in the Jaipur bench, and which is now part of the High Court. And Odisha High Court also permitted us to establish or install a wonderful statue of Mahatma Gandhiji. These are the places where people, lawyers, prisoners or students visit, and certainly may be getting benefited out of the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhiji. My father was, of course, he was a unique person, president of Jaipur Tax Consultant Association. Then he became president of Rajasthan Tax Consultant Association. And then again he became the national president of All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, a person adorning the all high seat of the city, state, as well as the country. He wrote several books of on Hindi language as well as simple language for the benefit of female villagers in our state, and several works are being done by our trust, which we are carrying the legacy which he left, and the woe which I had given. Yes, we will continue with all these similar activities. So many things to be said about him, and majority of the people know him, because whenever a word of Ranka comes, especially in the university or for moot court competitions, it reckons, yes, it is the brainchild of Dr. N.M. Ranka sir. He was conferred the doctorate degree by a renowned university here about 10 years back, and he was a designated senior advocate. Way back about 45 years back, he was designated. I think the first batch of senior designation was with him and 7 other senior advocates. Well, friends, so many things to be said, and we would certainly like to hear the honorable judges. It would really be a feast to the students, not only from Jaipur but outside, to hear the words of wisdom and blessings of the honorable 3 unique, renowned judges of the country, who with their excellence and judicial verdicts have been renowned throughout the country. Landmark judgments pronounced by them, delivered by them, will be seen by you when you come in the profession in some time. I thank the Honorable Vice-Chancellor for the continued patronage for this event and blessings and motivation to do the best. It is just to highlight that when 75th year of university was being celebrated, there was a special reference of UFYLC-Ranka Moot Court competition in the video and other print material released at that time. University focused, yes, this unique event is to be highlighted, and this was about 2 or 3 years back. A video was released, and everywhere it was highlighted that one of the flagship event of University of Rajasthan is this moot court competition. With these words, so I've already spoken so much. Thank the Honorable Director, Sanjula ji, Shaili ji, Rakhi ji, Priyanka ji, Sandeep Singh ji, Ghanshyam ji, Aarti ji, and so many professors here, and especially the young students who have been running here and there for the last several days. I was out of India for some time, but even in my absence, I was in constant touch with all the professors, teachers, and they have been kind enough to put in the best, and I'm sure the students would carry fond memories after they leave on 7th, after the valedictory and the closing ceremony. Make friends. This is a unique opportunity of indulging with so many wonderful people from north and south, east and west, and certainly these fond memories will be carried by you. I once again am grateful to the honorable judges, Honorable Justice Aravind Kumar ji, Justice M.M. Srivastava sahab, and Justice N.K. Jain sahab, and I'm sure in similar such occasions or activities I will be requesting, and they would certainly be with us in some other wonderful occasion. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address. Dr. Sanjula Thanvi, Head and Dean, Faculty of Law, University of Rajasthan. Dr. Thanvi serves in the capacity of Dean, Faculty of Law, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar Law University. I welcome you, ma'am, for the address.
I'll start with remembering my Guru, and also we can say our moot court Guru, Dr. N.M. Ranka ji. Guru Brahma, गुरुर विष्णु गुरुर देवो महेश्वराय गुरु साक्षात परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. I am thoroughly pleased to witness you all here in this inaugural session of 12th UFYLC Moot Court Ranka Competition 2024. It is my privilege to address you all on behalf of Faculty of Law, University of Rajasthan. I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais in this inaugural sessions. We are truly delighted to see your presence here. It's a matter of jubilance and glory for us to acknowledge that UFYLC University 5-Year Law College will be organizing 12th edition of UFYLC and Ranka Moot Court competition. This FILC Ranka Moot Court competition started in the year 2011. The idea of putting the foundation of this Ranka Moot Court competition by Dr. N.M. Ranka sir. Ranka sir is so inspiring. What was once planted, जब हमने इसको लगाया था, it was a very small plant. और आज देखिए हम कितने बड़े हैं. जैसे कि डायरेक्टर सर ने बोला, we have 64 teams. So we can understand कि उन्होंने क्या हमारे अंदर ऐसा डाला है कि हम दर बदर आगे बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, फलते फूलते जा रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक सो कि हमें एनएम राका जी को ट्रिब्यूट देना चाहिए. एक ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज मुझे सुनाई दिया जाना चाहिए. वो ये ना समझे कि वो यहाँ नहीं है तो हम उन्हें याद नहीं करते हैं, बल्कि ये कहें कि राका मूट का हर एक फैकल्टी, हर एक स्टूडेंट्स और जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स है वो उनको नमन करता है. Dear students and participants, you all know what do we mean by moot court competition. वैसे तो आप लोगों को सबको पता ही होगा. It's a package of training. आपके पास में जितनी भी कैपेसिटी है उसको अगर हम इसमें लगा देते हैं तो we'll grown up in a very good lawyer, judges, or you can achieve anything which you want to achieve in your goal in law career. I'll tell you 8 to 9 lines which will be benefit for you. Moot court competitions are important for law students because they help to develop skills that are essential for a legal career and also help students to build confidence and relationship. It develops skills like legal writing, legal research, advocacy, critical thinking and public speaking. कहीं पे भी लगे ये नहीं अचीव कर रहे हैं तो बताइएगा आप मुझे. It helps students to prepare for real world litigation by teaching them how to analyze legal issues and to construct persuasive arguments. It helps students to build confidence to speak in front of judges and overcome stage fright. It helps to build a relationship with legal professionals, judges, and fellow competitions. Moot court competition helps students to demonstrate their interest in advocacy and competency as an advocate to prospective employer. Then we can say that moot court competition can significantly impact the career trajectory of law students. It gives you a valuable experience that will help to understand the law in a better way. और आज का जो हमारा कंपटीशन है वो ड्रग एडिक्शन से रिलेटेड है, कॉर्पोरेट लॉ से रिलेटेड है. वैसे तो आप लोग इतना इसको पढ़ोगे और इसमें कंपटीशन में बोलोगे तो आई वोंट बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द कंपटीशन मूड प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन एक एडिक्शन की बात ज़रूर मैं करना चाहूँगी जो अभी हमारा सारा यूथ इसमें इन्वॉल्व है. दैट इज़ द मोबाइल एडिक्शन. वो हमारे थोड़ा मूड प्रॉब्लम से हट के है, बट चूँकि अभी स्टूडेंट्स के मेरे सामने है तो मैं चाहूँगी, अभी नवरात्रा चल रहे हैं तो नवरात्रा में हम देवी की उपासना करते हैं, व्रत करते हैं ताकि हम अपने गोल को अचीव करें. इस उपासना के साथ में, इस व्रत के साथ में एक दिन के लिए आप लोग मोबाइल का भी उपवास करें. उस दिन हम किसी सोशल मीडिया को नहीं खोलें, चाहे वो किसी तरह का हो, क्योंकि मोबाइल अपने आप में नेसेसिटी हो गया है अब लग्जरी से, तो उतना यूज़ करें, लेकिन सोशल मीडिया से हम एक दिन का उपवास ज़रूर से प्लान आउट करें, ताकि हम अपने बारे में, अपने गोल्स के बारे में, अपने कैरियर के बारे में अच्छा सा सोच सकें। यहाँ अभी इतनी सारी 64 टीम्स आई हुई है, इनमें से कोई ना कोई एक कोई टीम जीतेगी, बाकी रहेगी, लेकिन आप ये ना सोचें कि जो जीता वही सब कुछ है। क्यों? क्योंकि आपका पार्टिसिपेशन ही अपने आप में बहुत ज़्यादा है। तो आप लोग इस कंपटीशन के लिए सब तैयार हैं? आवाज़ नहीं आई। वो उसमें पूछते ना कि हाउ इज योर जोश, आया नहीं जोश, यहाँ तक आवाज़ धीरे आ रही है आप लोगों की। चलिए उसके लिए मैं आपको एक दो लाइनें करके अपनी बात ख़त्म करती हूँ। जीत की खातिर जुनून चाहिए, जीत की खातिर जुनून चाहिए, जिसमें उबाल हो ऐसा खून चाहिए। ये आसमां भी आएगा ज़मीं पर, ये आसमां भी आएगा ज़मीं पर, बस इरादों में जीत की गूंज चाहिए। गुड लक एंड बेस्ट विशेस टू यू ऑल ऑफ यू। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of prudence. Honorable Mr. Justice M.M. Srivastava, Chief Justice, High Court of Rajasthan. His academic journey began in Bilaspur, where he laid the groundwork for his future achievements. He pursued a Bachelor of Science degree at the CMD College, Bilaspur, but it was at KR Law College where he truly shone, graduating with a gold medal in LLB. His dedication to nurturing legal education and shaping the next generation of legal mind underscores his commitment to the field. Justice Srivastava was designated as a senior advocate on January 31, 2005. His elevation to the esteemed position of judge of the Chhattisgarh High Court on December 10, 2009 marked a significant milestone in his career, affirming his status as a jurist of unparalleled distinction. He later took an oath to uphold justice in the Rajasthan High Court on October 18, 2021. As the senior most judge of Rajasthan High Court, he was appointed as acting Chief Justice by the President of India on August 2, 2022. His legal acumen and expertise earned him recognition as a leading figure in the field, culminating in his appointment as standing counsel for numerous esteemed organizations. Including the Department of Income Tax, Municipal Council of Raipur, and various Chhattisgarh state electricity organizations and corporations. His ability to navigate complex legal matters and unwavering commitment to the justice solidified his reputation as a formidable advocate. I cordially request you, sir, for the address.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Mr. Justice Aravind Kumar, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Mr. Justice N.K. Jain, former Chief Justice, Sikkim High Court. Former Judge of Rajasthan High Court and Vice Chairperson of N.M. Ranka Memorial Trust. Respected Madam Urmila Ranka, Chairman of Ranka Charitable Trust, faculty, members of the university, respected Madam Dr. Sanjula Thanvi, is Head and Dean, Faculty of Law, University of Rajasthan. Mr. Jain Singh, Dean, Faculty of Science. Dr. Akhil Kumar, Director, University, 5-year Law College. Dr. Sandeep Singh and Dr. Aarti Rathi, conveners of the National Moot Courts Competition. Other faculty members of the Rajasthan University, officers of the Registry of the High Court of Rajasthan, dear law students, members of the family of Justice Ranka. It has always been a very exciting, enthralling and rejuvenating experience for me to interact with an audience like the students of law. Day in and day out, we keep on delivering lectures in various platforms with the audience as the lawyers and the judges. But whenever I get an opportunity to address a gathering of students, I am not going to miss it. And the reason is that whenever I come to an NMCC inaugural ceremony or any other kind of deliberation, workshop or seminar with the participation of the students of law, I see in them my past, and it is very, very nostalgic for me, and I go in the flashback 40 years before, 4 decades before, and then I start comparing as to what kind of legal education we had in those times and the distance which the legal education in our country has traveled in the last 4 decades. I must very honestly confess that the legal education in modern times in our country is far, far better, more inclusive and very, very helpful for those law students who want to take up legal profession as their career. In old times, at least the time when I did my law, since 1984, since from 1984 to 87, we have 3 years law course. There hardly used to be any practical classes or practical training part. Most of the teaching was confined only to the classrooms, and in the final years we used to have some marks allotted for one single moot court to be done once in 3 years, and that was compulsory. So it was more like a formality in those days of having experience of a moot court, a practical court experience. But then apart from that, we did not have that kind of facility in those times, and the result was that the period during which we studied law, we only turned out to be a law graduate with very little or no transformation as a legal professional, at least for those who wanted to join the legal profession and take it up as their career. And it was very, very challenging for those who used to enter the courtroom and finding that they are the only aliens found in the court, because they did not know what is going around in the court, what the judges are saying, how the proceedings are being taken up, what kind of arguments are being advanced by the lawyers. The processes of the court were, everything we had taken only on papers, but the practical experience was completely lacking. Those who had some kind of family background, like their elders in the family, their parents or their some relatives were in the legal profession, they had some added advantage. And I had that advantage because my uncle was joined at the bar, and he inspired me to take up law and join legal profession. So the day I joined the law courses, then he advised me that whenever you get time, please come to the court, sit in the office. So initially I did not take that advice very seriously. I said, I'm only a student, I'll see what I have to do later on. So after my college hours, I used to be free. When I came in the third year of law, then started realizing that if I have to join legal profession, I must start going to the courts, look at what is going on in the court, and at the same time also sit in the office of my uncle to see how the lawyer's office is being run, how the litigants are coming to with their problems, how interaction takes place with them, how cases are prepared, drafting is done, and so many things. I must tell you my experience that 1 year's practical training for me helped me a lot, in the sense that with me many of my colleagues did law, became law graduate, and many of them wanted to join legal profession. Many of them joined also, including me, and most of them left it. The reason was that they could not continue with the situation of being completely unknown and alien to the system. Why? Because we did not have that kind of practical training. So then I realized that how important it was, the advice which was given to me by my uncle, my senior, that the day you join the law course, you must start going to the courts and also spend some time, have interaction in the offices, the lawyer, whenever you want to, wherever you want to go, you should go. The point is, you must be acquainted with the system, and therefore, if that is done, so that is the point of time when you start going to the court, start interacting with the lawyers, and also sit in the chambers on the lawyers, watching what kind of proceedings are going on. Then the process of transformation from a law graduate to a legal professional starts. This is a very, I must tell you, because I presume that all of those who have come here are those who are inclined to join the legal profession after they complete their law. So it is my duty to tell you that the transformation of a law graduate to a legal professional is not an easy task. It requires, apart from hard work, it requires a lot of experience to be gathered with the interaction and actually participating in the court processes. So sooner the better, all of you should start acquainting and familiarizing yourself with the legal processes, court working, court works. And there lies the importance and significance of these kind of moot courts. These moot courts are the first platform for you as a student of law to start understanding the nuances of the legal profession, because it requires certain skills to be developed, what we call as advocate skill, lawyering skills. So that doesn't come overnight. You have to develop it, you have to inculcate it, and it comes over the period, not immediately. So those who are willing to join the legal profession, they must start doing it. Now this activity of moot courts, participation in the moot courts is important, because it then helps you to bridge this theory and practical part. And once, because many times you must have realized that you must have read some provisions of law, some act like competition law or a corporate law, or like NDPS Act, because you are going to have the theme of this National Moot Court competition here is corporate law and the drug laws. When you read a provision, your critical analysis and critical thinking actually does not take place. It is more or less reading a provision and then more in the nature of mugging it up. So if you ask, what does this section say, you will immediately tell me what this provision says. But we need to understand and critically analyze that provision. That helps only when you are required to put it into application in the given facts and circumstances. And that takes place only when you participate in the moot courts, or you watch the moot courts proceedings, or when you go to the court and watch the proceedings in the court, then you come to know. Like, I'll give you a very small example, murder and culpable homicide. We'll read the provisions under the old act, now new act has come. There are certain exceptions, and when those exceptions are not attracted, it is murder. A culpable homicide is murder if those exceptions are not attracted. If they are there, then it is only culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. But then, once you take up, supposing you come across a case where a person in a sudden heat of quarrel without any intention gives a blow to a person, he falls down and dies immediately. Then would the occasion is come for one to apply the law as to which exception it falls in, whether it is a culpable homicide amounting to murder or only a culpable homicide punishable under old section 304, part 1, part 2, whatever it be. So that is how the application of law takes place. So unless you come across the practical aspects, practical problems, be it civil, criminal, constitutional, corporate matters and whatever it be, the law is when put into application, then you start critically analyzing the provisions of law, scope, ambit, and your mind actually starts working in that manner. Otherwise it doesn't work in that direction. The legal education part comprises of three main parts. First, principles of law, principles of natural justice, bias, fairness. Justice should not only be done but seem to be done. There are certain basic fundamentals of law. Then comes constitutional law, our constitution, judge-made law, statute law, law which is made by the parliament, legislature of the state, and then the judge-made law, what we call as a precedents. So these are broad classifications which you come across while studying law, and when you join the legal profession, then you start understanding as to how the principles are made applicable, like principles of natural justice. If the action involves civil consequences, whether the provision requires it or not, Supreme Court has said, the Constitution bench judgment long back, Mohinder Singh, that if the civil consequences ensue, principles of natural justice are required to be followed. Judge-made law is also becomes very relevant aspect of profession. When you find that judgments are rendered by the court and how those judgments are to be applied, the ratio of those judgments which is applicable and not the conclusion by itself. So that part also comes into play when you come and join the profession. But then one thing I will tell you that there is no shortcut to legal profession. There is no shortcut to excellence. And I am reminded of what one of the Chief Justice, retiring Chief Justice, told us that he mentioned three things. And I was a very budding lawyer at that time, very early 80s, sometimes in the year 1988-89. When I joined profession only in the year 1987. He said, one, hard work is the mother of success. There is no escape to hard work. Legal profession demands a lot of hard work. You can't, you are not supposed to be seen in the evening in streets or restaurants or tea stalls. You are only to be seen in your office, reading the books, files, and enhancing your knowledge and skill. The other is that your mindset throughout has to be that we are learners for life. Even now, I say that I still keep on learning. I learn from everyone, not only from very learned lawyers or the judges. I also learn from very young lawyers. Many times some points are argued before me by young lawyers, and that gives me something, thought for developing law. And interestingly, 6-7 years before, a very young lawyer was arguing a case before me, and the matter was that he had the petitioner had appeared in examination, and he said that I did not get the marks I expected. So he said that's a principle, the law's scope of interference, scope of judicial review is very, very limited in those cases, and the law is so well developed. But what he argued, that right to fair assessment is essential and concomitant of Article 14. So I had to, in fact, the principles which are laid down, this is limited, judicial review is limited. But I said, he argued that right to fair assessment is essential and concomitant of Article 14. So fairness in the evaluation, scrutiny is essential. So people argue new things, new points, and every day. And till now, over last 40 years, as a lawyer for 23 years and thereafter as a judge for the last about 15 years, my experience is that my bag, my cart of knowledge when I enter the court in the morning is lesser than my cart or bag of knowledge which I have when I leave the court in the evening. Every day I learn. So we are learner for life. The third important thing I would like to say is that never ever think that I have understood everything. Legal field, laws, everything is a huge ocean, it's a big ocean. And my Chief Justice who was retiring, he said that even when I am retiring today, after 30-40 years in the profession, I still cannot say with confidence that I know even a drop of the ocean of legal knowledge. So that has to be always in the back of your mind. The day you think that you know everything, that is the last day of your learning. Thereafter you will start decaying. You will not be able to catch up with the time. Every day new things are coming, new challenges are coming. So when you come in the moot courts, when you interact with each other, when you attend conferences, seminars, workshops, you are exposed to new things which are going around in the society, in your nation. What are the new challenges to the legal profession? That is also important for you to understand. That if you want to join legal profession, what are the challenges you are going to face? So these are many broad aspects of legal profession which you have to keep in your mind when you practice. In the moot courts also, when you start appearing in the moot courts, it's only the step next to theory. But I would say, because I had the occasion to judge many moot courts in the past, it doesn't give too much of facts to you. And the kind of, because the process of trial is not there. What is really there is more a fact setup is given, certain laws are there, and then you have to put up your case. And the young lawyer and a lawyer who has gained some experience over 5-10 years, the difference is that the new lawyer reads the files, but once he gains experience, he starts not only reading the file but also starts reading the judge also. So the judges are also human beings. So when you appear in a court before a judge, then the judge has certain his or his own idea of many things in the society. Like when I used to appear in many courts, so in a particular court one would say that no, this honorable judge will grant bail in 302 matters, but not in a case of pickpocketing. So he disclosed why he is so averse to that and never used to grant bail in such cases. So he shared an experience. Then when he was a magistrate, he was traveling in a train and he was a victim of pickpocketing. Everything went, and when the ticket examiner came to ask him, where is your ticket? So no, everything is gone. तो बोले जो लोग टिकट विकेट ले लेकर नहीं चलते वो लोग यही सब बात करते हैं कि हमारा पॉकेट चोरी हो गया, ये चोरी हो गया. He said, I am magistrate. तो बोले ओ अब आप उसके बाद नई चीज़ हमको बता रहे हैं, चलिए अब अंदर इधर आप. तो उसने उसको स्टेशन पे उतार लिया और रेलवे मजिस्ट्रेट के पास ले गए. जैसे रेलवे मजिस्ट्रेट के पास पहुंचा तो देखा रहे तो मेरा कलीग है करके. तो बोले तुम किसको पकड़ के लाया? बोले सर हमको नहीं मालूम था. बट इन दिस प्रोसेस उनको बहुत ह्यूमिलिएशन हुआ. तो वो चोरी में बेल नहीं देते थे, वो 302 में बेल देते, लेकिन चोरी में बेल नहीं देते थे. So every judge is a human being, many things they learn to. So when the person comes to the court, when the lawyers appear in the court, they have to see what impresses the judge. Many times the judges do not want very lengthy arguments. Some of the judges want certain judgments to be cited along with every submission made. Some of the judges do not like, no, for everything need not cite the judgment. Just tell us the principles, settled principles, and we will pass the order. So that is what's important aspect, that reading the judge also. Like you have 5, 6, 7 points. If the judge is not impressed with the first, there is no point in hammering the judge on that very point. Switch to the next one, next one, next one. So these are certain skills of lawyering, which you will learn only when you come through the practical aspects. So that is how the moot courts are very, very important. Take it very seriously. Moot courts are going to be something very important for you. Those particularly who are going to join legal profession in times to come, for them this is a stepping stone. You will inculcate those skills very fast, how submissions have to be made, how persuasive you have to be, what kind of preparations, how research is to be done, how notes have to be prepared, how drafting is to be done. All these are the matters which you learn only when you come across the practical aspect. So my best wishes to all the participants. I am told that it's going to be a very big event. 64 participating teams are there. They have come from all across the country. You will have a very varied and rich experience of interacting with each other, and evaluate yourself where you stand at the national level. It's not the question of winning or losing. Question is of gaining experience, and it is the experience which matters. So my best wishes. Thank you to the university and the Ranka Memorial for inviting me.
Thank you, sir, for your words of prudence. Honorable Mr. Justice Narendra Kumar Jain, former Judge, Sikkim High Court, was admitted to the Bar Council of Rajasthan on May 28, 1978, and commenced his legal practice at the Rajasthan High Court bench at Jaipur. His practice encompassed civil, criminal, miscellaneous and service writs, taxation, labor, company, service and revenue matters. Within the High Court, he served as the standing counsel, panel lawyer for various entities, including the Regional Provident Fund Commissioner, the Income Tax Department, the National Insurance Company, Jain Vyas University in Jodhpur, and the Medical and Health Department of the Government of Rajasthan. Justice Jain was appointed as a judge of the High Court of Rajasthan on September 2, 2004, and was designated as the administrative judge on November 21, 2012. He served as the acting Chief Justice of the High Court of Rajasthan from December 14, 2012 to January 2, 2013. On January 17, 2013, he was appointed as the Executive Chairman of the Rajasthan State Legal Services Authority. He was later transferred from the Rajasthan High Court to the High Court of Sikkim, where he was sworn in and assumed his duties as a judge on September 30, 2013. Sir, you are requested to impart your address.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Mr. Justice Aravind Kumar ji, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Mr. Justice M.M. Srivastava sir, Chief Justice Rajasthan High Court. Mrs. Urmila Ranka ji, Chairperson Ranka Charitable Trust. Brother Justice J.K. Ranka sir. Other dignitaries sitting on end of the dais, dear faculties and students, ladies and gentlemen, print and electronic media. University, a 5-year law college, and Ranka Charitable Trust have organized this National Moot Court Competition 2024 at Jaipur. Former speakers and Brother Justice Ranka have given the background and details of this moot court competition, the participants of different law colleges of the country. Moot court is a co-curriculum activity and an integral part of the legal education system. A law professional must be capable of understanding facts and law, thinking of innovative solution to legal problems, and presenting those thoughts to another law professional both in writing and by speech. A moot court competition creates a vibrant environment for this entire skill set to develop. Participants take part in simulated court, usually involving drafting of pleadings or memorandum of appeal and participating in oral arguments. Mooting involves students engaging in simulated legal proceedings, debating fictional or hypothetical cases in a courtroom setting. Moot court competitions are simulated court proceedings that allow students to practice their oral advocacy and legal arguments skill. These competitions are typically judged by a practicing lawyer, judges, and legal scholars, and provide students with valuable feedback on their performance. Moot court proceedings are in fact practical training of court of law, like internship in MBBS course. If a law student is successful in moot court proceedings, then he is fit one to appear and present the case of his client in the court of law from the day one. Moot court competitions are designed to test students' critical thinking and problem solving abilities. It also provides an opportunity for law students to develop teamwork and collaboration skills. Participating work in teams to prepare their arguments, which require them to communicate effectively, delegate tasks, and work together to develop a cohesive strategy. Through this process, students can develop important skills that are essential in the legal profession, including effective communication, collaboration, and teamwork. There are many benefits participating in moot court competition. It provides opportunity to network with legal professionals, learning from experienced practitioners, judges, and fellow law students, and make long-lasting connections that may help in their future endeavors. If you want to become a successful lawyer or the presiding officer of the court, then you should keep and follow certain things in your mind, like that you should value the time, must maintain the punctuality of time, you must reach the courtroom in time either before presiding judge sits on the dais or your case is called for hearing. Number two, you should be properly dressed in the court. You must respect your elders, senior advocates in and outside the courtroom. During arguments, you should address your opposite counsel with respect, like learned colleague, learned opposite counsel, learned senior advocate appearing on behalf of the opposite party. You must prepare the case thoroughly on facts as well as law. You must maintain the decorum of the court also. You should have a full confidence on yourself. Be fair and honest with your client, court, and opposite party. I practiced in Rajasthan High Court at least for 26 years, from 1978 to 2004. I was appointed as a judge in 2004, and after my retirement, I worked as a chairman, Human Rights Commission of Sikkim as well as Madhya Pradesh. Therefore, I wanted to share my experience of High Court as a judge, as a Chief Justice, as a chairman of the Human Rights Commission. But due to paucity of time, it will not be possible to share them today, because we have to hear our Honorable Chief Guest, Justice Aravind Kumar Sahab, Judge Supreme Court, and other speakers also. Therefore, in last
We are releasing online the UFLC journal. Chetan Verma, please come on stage. I also request Siddharth Shankar to come on stage for assistance in book release. The book has been co-authored by Ms. Twinkle Sharma as well. Please come on stage, ma'am. This painting, created by Chetan Verma, a young artist of UFYLC, depicts three students of ours. One is Swati Vyas. She is the first student to be RJS, the foremost batch students in the female candidate, general category. Avni Lekhra as the Paralympian and gold medalist in parachuting. Besides, we have Mayank Pratap Singh, who is the youngest RJS. Mementos are the whispers of the past, reminding us of the moments that shaped us. I request Ms. Renu Ranka, member, Ranka Public Charitable Trust, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Aravind Kumar with a memento and a shot. On the same note, I request Dr. Sandeep Singh, Deputy Director UFLC, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice M.M. Srivastava. Further, I request Dr. Akhil Kumar, Director UFLC, to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice N.K. Jain. I request Mahima and Shruti, co-conveners, student co-conveners, to felicitate Urmila Raka ma'am, Chairperson, Raka Public Charitable Trust, with a shawl. I request both of them to felicitate Renu Ranka ma'am, member Ranka Public Charitable Trust, with a shawl, and Surbhi Ranka ma'am as well.
Professor Jain Singh, Head Department of Statistics, Dean Faculty of Science, University of Rajasthan. His area of specialization is statistical inference demography. He has authored several books and research papers. So, I would like to invite you to address the August gathering.
आज के इस गरिमापूर्ण कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के न्यायमूर्ति जस्टिस अरविंद कुमार साहब, राजस्थान उच्च न्यायालय के चीफ जस्टिस एम श्रीवास्तव साहब, राका साहब, जैन साहब, अखिल जी, सभागार में उपस्थित सभी सम्मानित अतिथि, हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के मेधावी छात्र, ये मेरा पहला अवसर है जब मैं अपने देश के सबसे इज्जतदार, सबसे सम्माननीय लोगों के साथ मंच साझा कर रहा हूँ। अभी आप लोगों ने कहा कि हर कार्यक्रम की एक गरिमा होती है, हर कार्यक्रम का एक प्रॉपर ड्रेस कोड होना चाहिए, लेकिन मैं इस तरह से आज उपस्थित नहीं हो पाया, इसके लिए मैं क्षमा चाहता हूँ। हमारी माननीय कुलपति महोदया इस कार्यक्रम में आने वाली थी, लेकिन कोई ऐसी प्राकृतिक घटना हुई, दुखद घटना हुई, जिसमें उनको वहाँ जाना पड़ा। और मुझे सर बहुत कम समय में कहा गया कि आपको इस कार्यक्रम में जाना है प्रतिनिधिक तौर पे। तो मैं सोचता हूँ कि हमेशा आदमी को अपने कार्य क्षेत्र में अलर्ट मोड पे होना चाहिए। कभी भी अवसर आ सकता है कि आपको मोर्चे पे जाना पड़ता है। मैं आज चूँकि शनिवार का दिन था, मेरी क्लास नहीं थी, तो मैं आज प्रॉपर ड्रेस में नहीं था, टी शर्ट पहन के आया हुआ था। जब मुझे सूचना दी गई, कहा गया कि सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के न्यायमूर्ति, राजस्थान उच्च न्यायालय के न्यायमूर्ति, पूर्व जज हमारे बीच हैं और जयपुर शहर के सबसे प्रतिष्ठित परिवार, राका परिवार के सदस्य यहाँ पे उपस्थित हैं और एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं जो कि हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के छात्रों के लिए बहुत उपयोगी है। तो मैं यहाँ से बहुत जल्दी घर गया। गाड़ी तेज़ नहीं चला सकता था क्योंकि मुझे नियम का पालन करना था, लेकिन मैं गया। जैसे भी आया सर, तो मैं प्रॉपर ड्रेस में आज आप लोगों के सम्मुख नहीं आ पाया सम्मान के लिए, उसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ। मैं चूँकि साइंस का विद्यार्थी हूँ, हम लोग थियोटिकल क्लास के साथ साथ प्रैक्टिकल क्लास ज़रूर लगाते हैं, क्योंकि छात्रों को जब तक प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज ना हो वो थ्योरी को ठीक से समझ नहीं पाते। और चूंकि लॉ कॉलेज में इस तरह का मूट कोर्ट का आयोजन हो रहा है और प्रतिष्ठित राका परिवार सर के द्वारा ये आयोजित होता है, और मैं जब इस विश्वविद्यालय में आया था तब से मैं राका मूट कोर्ट के बारे में सुनता रहा हूँ हमेशा से। तो मैं इसलिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद दूंगा और आभारी हूँ कि हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के जो विद्यार्थी हैं, जब यहाँ से पास होकर समाज में जाएंगे तो एक काबिल कानून के ज्ञाता हों, उसके लिए इस तरह का आयोजन बहुत ज़रूरी है। और इस आयोजन को करने के लिए हमारे 5 ईयर लॉ कोर्स के पूरी टीम बहुत मेहनत करती है और आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा कार्यक्रम आयोजित किया है, तो मैं इसके लिए आप सबका बहुत आभारी हूँ। मैंने महाभारत में एक सुना था, कई बार लोग कहते थे कि पितामह भीष्म कर्ण से ज़्यादा धर्म का पालन करने वाला कोई हुआ नहीं। इनका पूरा जीवन उदाहरणों से भरा पड़ा है, जब ये धर्म की रक्षा करते रहते थे हमेशा। लेकिन जब ये वीर गति को प्राप्त हुए तो वो जो गति थी वो एक वीर की तरह से नहीं मिली उनको। तो किसी ने भगवान कृष्ण से पूछा कि पितामह भीष्म और कर्ण से बड़ा महारथी, धर्म को जानने वाला, उसका पालन करने वाला नहीं हुआ, तो इनकी मौत इस तरह से क्यों हुई? भगवान कृष्ण ने कहा कि जब जरूरत थी बोलने की, उस समय ये लोग मौन रह गए। कितना भी बड़ा धर्म का रक्षक हो, अगर वो समय पर ना बोले तो उसके ज्ञान का कोई उपयोग नहीं है। तो समय पे आप कब बोलेंगे? जब आपको प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज होगा। आपका प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज होगा तब आप समय पे बोलेंगे, और समय पे बोलें। और एक कानून का ज्ञाता है, कानून का पालन करने वाला तो बोलता ही है। वो समय पे बोले और सही बोले, हमेशा सच का साथ दे, इसके लिए इस तरह के आयोजन किए जाते हैं। मैं एक बार आप सब लोगों का बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ कि आप लोगों ने हमारे विद्यार्थियों के लिए इतने बड़े हस्तियों को बुलाया हमारे बीच में। सर, आप सब हमारे बीच आए हैं, आपने हमारे छात्रों के अनुशासन को देखा होगा। मुझे लगता है कि आप ये ज़रूर सोच रहे होंगे कि यहाँ से जो हमारे छात्र जाएंगे समाज में, कानून क्षेत्र में जाएंगे तो बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करेंगे। और अगर आपका आशीर्वाद मिलेगा और समय समय पे इनको आपका मार्गदर्शन मिलेगा, ये हमारा महाविद्यालय, हमारा विश्वविद्यालय कानून क्षेत्र में बहुत अच्छे अच्छे हस्तियों को भेजेगा। हमारे विश्वविद्यालय से बहुत बड़े बड़े लोग सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में भी गए, राजस्थान उच्च न्यायालय में भी गए, और ये तभी संभव होता है जब बहुत अच्छे शिक्षक आपको शिक्षा देते हैं। मेरा सौभाग्य है कि हमारे विश्वविद्यालय का जो विधि विभाग है उसमें शुरू से ही बहुत अच्छे, बहुत काबिल प्रोफेसर्स रहे हैं जो कि अपने छात्रों को प्रैक्टिकल और थ्योरेटिकल नॉलेज लगातार देते रहे। और एक विश्वविद्यालय में आके इतना अनुशासित विद्यार्थी वर्ग मिले, ये बहुत तारीफ़ की बात है। तो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा तो सर आप लोगों के सामने बोलना नहीं चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि एक इतने सम्मानीय लोग हैं कि हम लोग मन में सम्मान इतना ज़्यादा है कि सम्मान कई बार डर पैदा कर देता है। लेकिन मैं तब भी इसलिए इतना बोल पा रहा हूँ कि मैं बहुत सालों तक विश्वविद्यालय के शिक्षक संघ का प्रतिनिधि रहा हूँ। मैं कहने में तो बहुत कुछ कहता हूँ, लेकिन इतने बड़े हस्तियों के सामने बोलना उचित था या नहीं।
सर, ये भी हमारे सिटिंग जजेस हैं हाई कोर्ट के, अपने यहाँ क्या लोन है।
जी जी, मैडम का आदेश हुआ है कि हमारे यहाँ से विश्वविद्यालय से बहुत से छात्र हाई कोर्ट में गए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में गए। मैं उनका जिक्र करता हूँ। न्यायमूर्ति के जैन साहब, समीर जैन साहब, अनूप दंड साहब, सुदेश बंसल साहब, अनिल उपमन, सुभा मेहता, महेंद्र गोयल, इंद्रजीत सिंह, अजय रस्तोगी साहब हमारे यहीं से थे, अशोक गौड़ जी, संजीव शर्मा जी। ये कुछ नाम याद हैं मुझे जिनको मैं जानता हूँ। और इन लोगों की कोर्ट में कितना बड़ी भूमिका रही है कि गरीबों को, पिछड़ों को, जिनके साथ अन्याय हुआ उनको न्याय दिलाने में। अजय रस्तोगी जी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में थे, उनके जजमेंट से हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के कई शिक्षक, कई कर्मचारी लाभान्वित हुए। अशोक गौड़ साहब, संजीव सर, जैन साहब के जो सुपुत्र हैं, आपको 6th पे स्केल का जो एरियर मिला था वो सर के सुपुत्र के कारण मिला था। तो ऐसी व्यवस्था हो गई है भारत में, ये बहुत दुर्भाग्य की बात है, कहना नहीं चाहिए, पता नहीं उचित है कि नहीं, लेकिन मैं कहूँगा कि ऐसी व्यवस्था हो गई कि जब तक आप कोर्ट की शरण में न जाओ तब तक आपको आपका वाजिब हक भी नहीं मिलता है। आपको वाजिब हक लेने के लिए भी कोर्ट में जाना पड़ता है, और कोर्ट में जाके आपको वाजिब हक मिले इसके लिए बहुत अच्छा वकील आपके साथ होना चाहिए। हमारा विश्वविद्यालय ऐसे लोगों की एक संख्या तैयार कर रहा है, बहुत अच्छे विद्यार्थी निकलेंगे। आप सबको मेरी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। राजस्थान के जयपुर शहर के सबसे प्रतिष्ठित परिवार राका परिवार की तरफ से जितने उपस्थित सदस्य हैं सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने हमारे विश्वविद्यालय को चुना। ऐसा प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज हमें छात्रों को मिले, इसके लिए आपने व्यवस्था की, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं अपने मंच के सभी सम्मानित अतिथियों के प्रति उन्हें धन्यवाद देता हूं। सर, आपने हमारे विश्वविद्यालय में आने का अपनी सहमति प्रदान की। पूरे विश्वविद्यालय परिवार की तरफ से आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. Honorable Mr. Justice Aravind Kumar, Judge, Supreme Court of India, pursued his education in Bengaluru, attending National College for his degree and later completing his law studies at Bengaluru University. Enrolled as an advocate in 1987, he practiced in trial courts for approximately 3 years. In 1990, he transitioned to the High Court and began practicing independently. In 1999, he was appointed as the additional central government standing counsel at the High Court of Karnataka. Additionally, in 2002, he was appointed by the Government of India as a member of the Regional Direct Taxes Advisory Committee. In 2005, he was appointed as the Assistant Solicitor General of India and has handled cases related to the Constitution of India, the Central Excise Act, and the Customs Act, the Code of Civil Procedure, and the Criminal Procedure Code, among others. He was appointed as an additional judge of the High Court of Karnataka on 26th June 2009, took the oath of office on that date and became a judge on December 7, 2012. He was appointed Chief Justice of the High Court of Gujarat, taking the oath of office on October 13, 2021 and served in that capacity until February 12, 2023. He was elevated to the Supreme Court of India and took his oath of office on February 13, 2023. Sir, I humbly request you to address the august gathering.
A very good evening to one and all. Respected dignitaries on the dais, the Honorable Chief Justice, Justice M.M. Srivastava, Justice N.K. Jain, former Chief Justice of Sikkim High Court, Professor Alpana, Kateja, Vice-Chancellor, in absentia, represented by Mr. Jain Singh, Dr. Akhil Kumar, Director of UFLC, Dr. Sanjula Thanvi, Head and Dean, Department of Law, Siddharth Ranka, Secretary, Ranka Public Charitable Institution, my dear friend Justice Ranka, friends, Mr. Siddharth Ranka, friends from print and electronic media, all the faculty members of Ranka University, family members of Justice Ranka, registry officials of Rajasthan High Court, ladies and gentlemen, and dear students. It is stated in Sanskrit, Sabhabhya Sabhapatibhyachavo Namo Namah. The one who is presiding and the persons who are present here, I salute before you, this august audience. When I told my younger daughter that I will be going to the university, to the Ranka University to address students, the first thing she said was, don't eat their head. So I am addressing the students, my dear students, including those who are taking a nap or who are sleeping. It's my pleasure to be before you, the young bright minds of this esteemed gathering on the occasion of the inaugural ceremony of 12th Ranka National Moot Court Competition 2024. As my brother Justice Srivastava has already said and shared with you, this also takes me to my days as initial days as a lawyer, because we had floated an organization now which has grown into a big tree. It is called Lahari Foundation. We were organizing moot court competitions. I was one of the organizing secretary, and I know what is the difficulty of organizing a moot court competition. We used to come at 7 o'clock in the morning, start from wiping the table, dusting the table, preparing everything, acting as a court master or a court manager or a court officer in the moot court competition. In the evening at 5 o'clock, we used to put on the coat and sit on the dais along with the judges. So all these steps I have taken, and I know what is the difficulty of organizing a moot court competition. So at the outset, I congratulate the university and all the organizers and the faculty members for having taken this great job of ensuring that 64 teams participate in this competition. It's wonderful such practice of competition, that too with great enthusiasm, is taking place. I generally get invited to various conferences and events where my audience is either newly appointed judges at the academy or conferences where practicing advocates are the audience. I have a specific area of law which I tend to focus in such conferences and meetings. However, today, interestingly, I do wish to speak to you about the law. Not about the law, rather I want to focus on how to be a great lawyer. I wondered while preparing this speech or address to all your powerful minds as to what should be my topic. I put myself into your shoes to see what might interest you and thought to share the advice I received all along my journey in this noble profession. First, let me start. I know I am running short of time because I will also have to rush, and I am told my flight is at 7:10. So I will not take more than 15 minutes. I will just share my thoughts, my experiences. The first step is, how did I become a lawyer? Let me tell you, I was not interested in becoming a lawyer because I am the first generation lawyer, neither from my father's side nor from my mother's side. Nobody was there in the lawyer profession. Everyone was either doctors or engineers. But my father said, you should become a lawyer. So every day I used to fight with my father because I wanted to become a progressive farmer because we had agriculture lands, and I wanted to say or demonstrate that even an educated man can become a progressive farmer. But my father insisted that I should become a lawyer. Then we used to fight, and I said, you give me one good reason why I should become a lawyer. He said, because he was a freedom fighter, he was imprisoned. He was in prison for nearly about 6 years during freedom movement days. So he said, as a prisoner, we were put into the barracks by 7:30 in the night after serving dinner, and we were not getting sleep so early. So in every barrack there used to be about 20 prisoners, and every day those 20 prisoners, excluding my father, they were discussing something, I believe. Second day he asked, what is that you are discussing? They said, I believe it is about Transfer of Property Act, feeding the estoppel by grant. This is the subject. My father said, what is that? Because he was not a lawyer. Because all other 19 convicts or under trial prisoners were lawyers. You must be thinking that, oh, all prisoners are lawyers. They were all prisoners because they were fighting for the freedom of this country. It is the lawyers who can change the course of the country and can change the course of the society. So it is in your hands, and you are the most powerful persons on this earth. Please remember that. After having chosen, then he said, you become a lawyer for one day. And he showed me all the statistics. Look here, the first parliament which was constituted consisted of 87.76% of lawyers. Every now and then he used to hold all the statistics before me. I said, all right, for your sake I will become a lawyer. And that is how I became a lawyer. Then he said, look here, now that you have become a lawyer, you just enroll yourself. Go to the courts for one day. I will take you to a senior. And then, if possible, if you feel you are comfortable, you continue with the profession. Otherwise, do whatever you want. I readily agreed, and I was introduced to one of the senior lawyers. He said, look here, Aravind, if you want to become a good lawyer, this is what he said. I remember. Later on, he became the Chief Justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court. And he later became a parliament member. Later on he became a governor, and he is no more. He is Justice Rama Joyce. He said, Aravind, if you want to become a good lawyer, first and foremost practice in trial courts. You will know the nuances. You will know the basics of everything. Then you can become a good lawyer. So then he directed me to one another gentleman, that is Mr. S. Nanjun Swami. With reverence, I remember he was my mentor, friend, philosopher and guide. And whatever I am today here, it is because of him. And that aptly applies where I think one of the speakers said about Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. It is these gurus, you will not understand the value of the teachers at this young age. I was also once upon a time like you. I have teased with teachers, we have cajoled them, we have fought with them. I know. But 10 years down the line from today, mark my words, you will say that whatever you have succeeded in life, it is because of the teachers. Here I may quote, we are a country, this India, which constitution says Bharat, India means Bharat. This Bharat had two wonderful universities in the world, that is Takshashila and Nalanda University. My dear students, do you know that what you are speaking of, this entrance exam, NEET, all CETs and entrance exams, it is not new to this country. This was there 5,000 years back. Check up in the Google. The gatekeepers of this university used to conduct the entrance exam. They used to ask 5 questions for the students. 143 from 143 countries, the students used to come and study in Nalanda and Takshashila University. In this university, the gatekeepers used to ask 5 questions, and if they answered 3 questions, entrance exam passed, they can go inside. If they don't answer 3 questions, fail. Next time, after 6 months, take one more, repeat. If you just think, if our gatekeepers had this knowledge, and they were never repeating, I am told they were never repeating the questions. If the gatekeeper had this knowledge, what would be the treasure of knowledge of our teachers inside the university? And it is because of this, their teachings, that we acquire knowledge. That is why in Krishna Yajurveda, where it says, when all these mortals went to the Lord Vishnu and said, what is that we should do to achieve salvation? He said, you read Krishna Yajurveda. Krishna Yajurveda consists of 80,000 chapters. To complete this reading, it will take 58 years. They said, no, it's not possible, condense it. So he said, all right, you read Aranyaka. It is 18,000 chapters. That will take 24 years. Said, no, God, this is not possible. What is this? You give us some paperback edition, reduced version. He said, all right, you read Rudra and Chamaka. That is why that Aranyaka, Krishna Yajurveda, you have got what is known as Rudra Prashna and Chamaka Prashna. In that Rudra Prashna, you ask, you tell Lord Shiva, you are that, this, and Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, Namaste Rudra Manyava Utota Ishave Nama. You praise him in every words. And after all, we are all human beings. We start asking, Chame, that is called Chamaka Prashna, give me. Yenta Chame, Dharta Chame. You give me that, you give me wealth, you give me education, you give me beautiful wife, you give me beautiful husband, handsome husband, that, this. You ask everything. By the time you will be 60 plus, then you will say, no, I don't want all this, you keep it to yourself. Mahima Chame, give me good thinking process, good knowledge, that is sufficient. But it should not be acquired at the age of 60, even it can be acquired at the age of 30. And I am told this is what is being taught in Ranka universities and Ranka institutions. So keep this in mind, and if you want to become a good advocate, what I would suggest is sharpening your mind. How do you sharpen your mind? Constant reading, constant thinking. I will tell you one small example. One former Advocate General was arguing a matter before division bench head presided by Honorable Justice Thakur, Tirayates Thakur, in Bangalore, about a local board matter. He proposed one proposition to the Honorable bench. The judges asked, Mr. So-and-so senior counsel, did you argue this matter before the learned single judge? Thank you. He said, no, I did not argue this matter. I said, all right, it's no problem. Have you raised it as a ground in your appeal memorandum? He said, no, this ground is not raised. What is this? You have not raised it as a ground. You have not canvassed this before the learned single judge. How do you expect us to consider this as a ground? He said, it is a question of law. Appeal being continuation of original proceedings, you are required to consider this. Whether you reject it or not, it is left to the court. but this is my proposition. They said, how did it come to you? How did you read this provision? How did it come to you? He said, while sitting in the court, while just reading the provision, it struck to me. This is how you will have to have a new ideas, new thinking. I will tell you one more incident which happened to me only. I was arguing a matter with regard to Workmen's Compensation Act, section 4C2, the then 4C2, where compensation is asked for having suffered an injury or death during the course of employment, quote and unquote. A person, that is a postman, had died while coming to the post office, and his wife and children had made a claim. I was appearing for the Union of India. So I made a proposition to the court saying that we have given her compassionate appointment, we have paid all the terminal benefits, death cum retiral benefits, and again paying compensation under the workmen's compensation it will amount to double payment. They said, no, hardly it is 4 lakh, 5 lakhs, why should we interfere? I said, there is a question of law. Why I am telling you is, some of the speakers said how you should develop the arguments. The division bench said, there is nothing, Aravind, we are going to dismiss it. I said, your lordship may kindly do, but there is something which it can be thought of in a different angle. I said, all right, for your sake, we will give you 3 minutes, argue it in 3 minutes. So I said, it says during the course of employment. Correct, he was coming to the office, he died on the way. Is it not during the course of employment? I said, lordships may kindly examine. Suppose he has left the house, he is coming to the office. On his way, he meets a old friend and he says, no, we have met after 20 years. Today you don't go to the office, let us go for a movie. You apply leave tomorrow. He turns his cycle or motorcycle, he collapses due to the heart attack, that is myocardial infarction. Can it be said during the course of employment? He starts from his house. He comes 10 steps. He suddenly remembers he had to go and attend his daughter's or son's school program, and he says, tomorrow I will go and tell my boss that I could not come. I will apply leave tomorrow. Today I will not go. He turns his vehicle. He collapses and dies. Can it be turned as in the course of employment? Like this, I gave 4 propositions. Then the judges said, there is something in this which we can look into it. And I said, as voluntarily I am saying that we are going to deposit the entire amount of the compensation awarded by the Workmen's Compensation Commissioner, and we deposited. This is one aspect. Another practical experience which as a junior advocate I experienced was, we were dealing with a writ appeal relating to a bulk allotment in favor of a housing society by the Bangalore Development Authority. At that point of time, so I was interacting with our senior. It was a Friday, the matter was on Wednesday, Thursday it got adjourned to Monday. And on Friday evening, all the 4 juniors of our senior office, we had planned to go out for a dinner. My esteemed brother Chief Justice said, you will have to work hard, you will have to give up all your pleasures going to the restaurant, coffee shops. I am telling you why. I take a cue from what my esteemed Chief Justice has said. We had all planned. We will go there, we will eat this, we will eat that, including menu, everything we had planned. Suddenly when we were about to leave at 6:45 on a Friday evening, my senior called and said, Aravind Kumar, can we just have a look at that Halsbury's Law of England? Suddenly it struck to me about this Monday's case. I said, sir, can we have it, read it tomorrow? He said, no, I may forget it. You take out that book, 5 minutes we will finish it off. We knew 5 minutes means it will not be 5 minutes, it will be 5 hours. The interpretation was with regard to section 32 of the BDA Act. subject to corrections because it was 36 years back. He made us to read that section which we had already read umpty number of times. That section reads, notwithstanding anything contained under the Act, the authority has got the power to lease, sell or otherwise, deal with the property so vested in it. You just imagine, even after 36 years, closing my eyes, I can recapitulate that section. That means I have read that section at that point of time itself, not less than 100 times. Suddenly he said, Aravind, wait, why there is a punctuation, there is a comma? I was so upset because our dinner is gone, our weekend is gone, our enjoyment is gone. And our senior, even at 9:30 in the night, is asking why comma is put. I said, sir, draftsman was feeling bored, that's why he has put it. He said, no. Take out Halsbury's Law of England. Take out Black's Law's Dictionary. Take out GPC interpretation of statutes. Read it and tell us. And we all read together. Friends, my dear young advocates, for your information, I found out for punctuation, there were about 450 High Court judgments. Importance of a punctuation. Comma, full stop, hyphen, dash, slash. So it is a learning process. Every day you keep on learning. As told, if you think you will know everything, that will be your last day. Never ever do that in this legal profession. That is why in Sanskrit, Subhashita is there. I will tell you which is apt and appropriate. It is Artha Turana na Guru na Bandhu. Artha means this. Artha Turanam, the person who is greedy of money, he doesn't mind whether it is his guru or whether it is his bandhu, relative. Kshuta Turanam na Pakva na Ruchihi. When you are hungry, you come home sometime, you say, Mama, give me something to eat. Your mother will give, you will eat 2 spoons, 3 spoons. After 5th spoon, you will say, Mama, why you have not put salt? First 4 spoons you did not ask because you were hungry. That is a Kshuda Turana na Pakva na Ruchi. Whether it is fully baked, whether it is tasty, you are not bothered. Kama Turana na Lajja na Bayam. The one who is greedy, he is not bothered about anything. Ultimately, this is what is applicable to a person who seeks knowledge. A seeker of knowledge. The seeker of knowledge is lawyers. He is Vidya Turanam, the one who wants Vidya, that is knowledge. Vidya Turana, na Nidra, na Sukham. No sleeping at 12 o'clock, getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning, or going to the coffee shops in the evening and sitting and enjoying. Once in a way, all right. But this should not be the routine. You will have to acquire knowledge. Every day is a learning process. And there I had noted down several points. Because of lack of time, I may not be able to share all, but I'll tell you 2 more things and conclude my speech. Set your goals. What is that you want to become? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. Set your goals. I will tell you a small story of this, a real story. A small young boy, 8 years old or 9 years old, was very much interested in football. He was going for every football match. Once he goes for a national football match, at that time the American football team was leading. Mr. Brown was the captain of that team, Mr. Brown. This boy, young boy, after the match goes and pulls his jersey and says, Sir, I know how many records you have broken. The Mr. Brown will pat him and say, very good, my boy. He says, sir, I know how many goals you have scored in each of the matches. He says, very good, keep it up. Then he doesn't stop. He says, again he pulls him. This Brown gets a little irritated. He says, what is it now? He says, sir, one day I am going to break your records. And he breaks his records after 17 years. That is O.J. Simpson. Like that, set your goals. Concentrate. You can achieve. Always think that you can, that not you can't. You should be always positive and be optimistic, not pessimistic. And I am told in this moot court competition, the subject would be relating to NDPS. And many a times we have seen in the courts, lawyers arguing on a particular subject. When we ask basic question, they will say, I am sorry, I don't know, can I come back to your lordships tomorrow or day after tomorrow or next week? Adjournment is sought for. The basics should be strong. For example, you are arguing for a bail in a matter of ganja, poppy seeds, cocaine. They may ask, what is that? Suppose the court asks, what is whether it is a leaf, twig or branch. You need not have practical knowledge, but you should have at least the theoretical knowledge. Suppose you are arguing for, in case of Bihar, where there is a prohibition, this Fincidil is a cough syrup, regular cough syrup sold in a medical store. If it is more than 1 liter, it becomes a drug under the NDPS, Psychotropic Substances Act. It becomes a drug, which is a prohibited drug. Beyond 1 liter, it is called as commercial quantity. It becomes a non-bailable offence. So you should know what is that Fencidil, what it contains, how much is the percentage of alcohol. Why lawyers are called as learned? You know something of everything, not because you are very, very learned. You will argue a case relating to NDPS, you will argue a case relating to murder, you will argue a case regarding assault, you will argue a case regarding injunction, construction, commercial activities, trademark, IPR, what not. You will be arguing every case. You will be knowing something of everything of that subject. Try to go deep into it, concentrate, and you will acquire knowledge. The third and the final aspect is time management. Time management, one aspect I fully agree, going to the court on time, attending to the court, being there in the office. Apart from this, what is that you are going to do? I devised my own way. I will tell you simple. I made a small chit, got it printed and photocopied. Date, things to do today, time, follow up. Suppose you are required to read one particular judgment. Note down, I have to read judgment under section 53A of the Transfer of Property Act. Time 8 p.m. Follow whether you have done it or not. If you do this management, mark my words, after 5 years it will become routine. You will acquire mastery over this. So time management is one another most important aspect. You will have to keep in mind, and form small groups of advocates. One of my brothers said that you should be away from this addiction of mobile. In fact, let me share with you, from last 3 weeks, every Thursday, half a day, I made it a policy, mobile switch off policy. 2 o'clock I will switch off, till Friday morning 6 o'clock I will not touch it. And of course I have told my wife and children that In case of emergency, any emergency, you can contact my personal security officer. That's a different issue. But nothing is impossible. You can. Only thing, you will have to have perseverance. Before concluding, I'll just tell you one small story of what to USA and UK and Europe taking about 10 bags of sand from this country. He was going in a ship in early 30s, late 20s. Every day he used to walk on the upper deck because he was in the executive class. He was walking on the upper deck. One day, that is the third day of his journey, he hears bhajans from the lower deck of the ship. He calls one of the stewards and says, "What is this? What is going on?" He says, "Sir, some Swamiji is traveling." So he does, with all the co-passengers, every day 5 to 6 o'clock he does bhajan. He says, "Is it so? Where is he?" He said, "He is from India." So he goes down. He says, "I want to meet that Swamiji." He said, "I will call that Swamiji." He said, no, since you are saying he is a Swamiji, I will myself go there." He goes down the deck and he sees one person clad in saffron cloth sitting there preaching bhajans to the about 30-40 persons. After the bhajan was over, he interacts with that Swamiji. Swamiji says, "Who are you?" He says, "I am Mr. Tata. I am going for getting the soil of this country tested to find out whether it contains iron ore, because we did not have a laboratory of that stature. It is available only in 3 countries, UK, USA and Europe. I think if it is, I am not wrong, it's in France. So these 3 countries laboratories I wanted to get tested." That Swamiji says, "Mr. Tata, we are a country, we are in bonds, we are being ruled by UK people. Do you really think they will certify that even if your sand contains iron ore, do you really think they will certify that? And do you really think other advanced countries will accept that there is iron ore in this, even if it contains, and certify that? They will not." Then he will say, "Then what do you expect me to do?" Look here, he will say, "I am going to a conference in Chicago. I have been sponsored by His Highness Mysore, Maharaja of Mysore. He is a very philanthropic person. You go and approach him. You are a wealthy man, man with lot of resources. Why do you want to go before others? Why don't you start your own laboratory in the country?" He says, "Yes, a good idea. Let me try." So he comes back and he goes and meets the Mysore Maharaja, and Mysore Maharaja readily says, "Please take 450 acres of land in Bangalore city." He gives him 450 acres. That is where the Tata Institute of Science, that is now today Indian Institute of Science, took its birth. And that Swamiji was none other than Swami Vivekananda. This is how you will have to think something to the society. It is only the lawyers who can think out of the box. You have got that capacity, you have got that vision, you have got that zeal, do it. Only thing is, you will have to sharpen your mind, give food for thought to your mind, think in a different way. This can happen only when you are having a healthy body, physical body. To have a physical body means you should keep away from your drugs or any bad habits. Then you will definitely, you will have a sound mind. I am telling you friends, I am with all seriousness. I know one friend of mine who is a cardiothoracic surgeon. Today, from 2 years he stopped performing surgery because his hands shake. He is one of the top surgeons of the country. Because while in student days he fell into drugs and he continued, and even today I don't know whether he takes or not, but his hands tremble, shake, he is not able to perform the surgery. His thinking process also has come down. So you are the future of our country. Everything is in your hands. So you keep away from all these things. And last but not the least, you owe your physical existence and your existence in every sphere of your life to your parents. Whatever you are today, it is because of your parents. So don't forget them. That is why one of the persons who a great writer who went to US, he wanted to see a old age home. He went to the old age home. He was wearing an Indian traditional dress, kurta pajama. One lady, she came in an automatic chair and she asked, "You are from India?" He said, "Yes, I am from India." She said, she thought that man has come as a new admission, or he wanted to get admitted to that old age home. She takes his hand and kisses that hand and says, "You come from the land of Krishna. This is not the place where you belong to. Please go back." Our country, which is rich in heritage and culture, please remind yourself of Article 51A of the Constitution of India, where it says what are the mandatory constitutional duties of a citizen. Everyone speaks about rights. So you will also have to think about your fundamental duties. That is, protect and nurture the heritage of this country. That is why, and also they say, you go after excellence. How many of you seen this, what is that, Three Idiots? In that Amir Khan says, what does he say? Success के पीछे बत मांगो, excellence के पीछे भागो, success वही आ जाएगा. So always go for excellence. Excellence comes when you put in hard work. When you put in hard work means you will have to study hard. That means you will have to give up the small pleasures of life. Once in a week, chalta hai, but not every day. Now from the student days, as a student, you are getting elevated as a full-fledged lawyer. Once you become a professional, be serious in the profession. With these few thoughts, and also saying that as young lawyers you hold immense power in your hands, the power to shape the society, to challenge injustice and to build a future rooted in fairness and equity. The law is not just a career, a calling to be the voice of the voiceless, to defend the marginalized and to stand firm in face of corruption and prejudice. I urge every one of you, my dear young students, to never lose sight of this highest and higher purpose. In a world fractured by inequality, if at all, if there is any at any point of time, your legal expertise can be a force for good, a shield for the innocent, and a tool for the reform. Use your knowledge not just for personal successes, but for the betterment of the society. Remember, every case you take, every argument you make can bring about a change, whether in the courtroom or community. Be the change makers this world needs. Use your profession to challenge the status quo, to promote justice and leave behind a legacy of integrity. When integrity comes, I am remembered of one small incident which happened again at Indian Institute of Science. V.P. Raman was the chairman of the Indian Institute of Science. He was conducting an interview for selecting some scientists. One day he called for an interview. Some 5 scientists had come. There were only 3 posts. One of the boy was not selected. They used to give the second class traveling from hometown to the Bangalore city, the money, train expenses or the train charges. He had taken it, and in the evening he was waiting at the gate for Mr. V.P. Raman to come. When Mr. Raman came, The Raman saw this boy, he immediately recollected today morning this boy had come for interview, I think he is soliciting for some favors. So he was standing, he said, what do you want, young man? He says, sir, today morning I came for interview. Yes, you failed, what to do? Said, better luck next time. I know, sir, I don't mind that. I have come here to give you something. He said, what is it? Sir, office people gave me 2 rupees more. When I went and asked them, they said, today the account is closed. Either you come tomorrow or we will see. You keep it for yourself. Enjoy. He said, sir, this is not my money. I can't keep it. And if I want to stay, I will have to spend 3 rupees. I can't stay, I will have to go back to my native place. My train is in the night. So since you are the head of the institution, I thought I will give this 2 rupees to you. Kindly give it to them tomorrow. Mr. Raman was very much impressed. He said, for 2 rupees you were waiting from 12 o'clock till 5 o'clock? Yes, sir, they told me that at 5 o'clock you come for a walk in the institute. That is why I was waiting for you. Then he says, all right. He takes the 2 rupees, puts it in a pocket and says, come tomorrow morning. He says, sir, I don't have a place to stay. He says, don't worry, I will make an arrangement in the hostel. He calls someone, says, give him a place to sleep and also food for the night. And he stays. Next day morning, he appoints him as a 4th scientist and says, I have created a supernumerary post exercising my power, not because you are extraordinary intelligent, because you are extraordinary honest, your extraordinary integrity, I appreciate. And that man is none other than Srinivasa Chandrasekharan, who a Nobel laureate in mathematics. So every one of you, if you inculcate these great values which our forefathers have left, we can make this country the best country in the world. With this, I take leave of you. I wish every one of you, and I thank the organizers for having invited me and granted me so much time to share my thoughts with the young minds, and I never miss an opportunity to be in the midst of the young students, and that to the law students and the budding lawyers, because I was also once upon a time like you. Sabhabhya sabhapatibhyascha vo namo namah. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
We acknowledge the presence of Dr. S. Niranjan Tandi amongst us. I now request Dr. Preeti Joshi ma'am, Assistant Professor, University Law College, to felicitate him with a potted plant. Sir is son-in-law of Shri Honorable Mr. Justice Aravind Kumar, Judge Supreme Court of India. I thank Honorable Mr. Justice Aravind Kumar for his address. In the words of Helen Keller, the best and the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart, and gratitude is the memory of the heart. I request Mr. Siddhar Ranka, Secretary, Ranka Public Charitable Trust, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to one and all. My Lords, Honorable Justice Aravind Kumar ji, Judge Supreme Court of India, my Lords Justice Srivastava, Honorable Chief Justice of Rajasthan High Court, Justice N.K. Jain Sahab, retired Chief Justice Sikkim High Court, dignitaries on the dais, faculty members from the Law College, lawyers of the Rajasthan High Court, for some reasons, who are sitting at the last row. Sir, we can see you. And to all the august gathering who are present in this august house, it's my privilege to give a vote of thanks on this auspicious 12th University 5-year Law College National Moot Court Competition, jointly organized by the Rajasthan University with Ranka Public Charitable Trust. Friends, you must have realized when Honorable Justice Aravind Kumar ji spoke, before all the authors or speakers came before him, in short point of time, he noted what was the gist of, what was the speaking point of that very author, which was striking and which could have been repeated by him. In this short time, it reflects how a judge grasps a speaker's argument. We are rarely privileged. It was a treat to hear you, sir. You spoke extempore. I was wondering when I was sitting there that why do we invite the chief guest to speak at the last? So you can understand from the view of the audience. Sir has charted a journey of a lawyer, right from college to a law student, to a budding lawyer, to a serious professional, to a judge, what it takes. Goal setting, positive attitude, and hard work. No one is first amongst the three. All three are relevant and very important. Honorable Justice Srivastava Sahab taught us the backdrop of basics of law, and the very basic is principles of natural justice, constitutional law, and judgments made by judges and judgments made by statute. Sir, as a lawyer who had the privilege of appearing before you umpteen number of times, I do wish, and I hope my prophesy also sometime comes true, that we see a division bench of Honorable Justice Aravind Kumar ji and Honorable Justice Srivastava Sahab in Supreme Court of India. Friends, you have got the statistics that 64 teams are participating here. What is even more heartening is that from 17 states, the ambassadors of 17 states are present in this moot court competition. And sir, we had to reject 18 teams. Our applications were 82. But we restricted ourselves because of, my lords have some experience, as I said, of organizing a moot court competition, how much it takes. And as the Dean also said earlier, our Dr. N.M. Ranka Sahab had put a benchmark of 60. So we tried to keep it at that level. And so that the quality of competition, the students' interaction with each other is at the best. It's always at the best level. There is a long list of dignitaries who are present in this hall, who are not present in this hall, who deserves a huge round of vote of thanks from the organizers present here. All the lecturers, even the judges who have agreed to judge the moot court competitions from their busy schedule, they all deserve our hearty thanks. The backbone to this event is the enthusiastic and passionate bunch of law students without whom this event could not have been planned and executed. From the organizers, a hearty vote of thanks to the students as well. To all the participants, I would just say, life isn't perfect. Any failure you have or actually learn are actually learning moments. They teach us how to grow and evolve. So a moot court competition, a participation in moot court competition, the the fact that you are participating here, the fact that you will witness other teams participating, how they are proposing their cases, how they are developing their cases, either you learn or you enrich yourself, but the fact remains that you will be far more richer than you came here. Remember friends, life is a trip. The only problem is that it doesn't come with map. We have to search our own routes to reach the destinations. Each one of the August gathering sitting here have charted their territories, either guided by seniors, guided by their parents, guided by their family members, obviously with support of the family. They could not have reached here, but no one of them have charted their map. They have marked their territories, they have marked their maps, and they are working towards that path. And I hope to all the students here who have come from all across India, have a memorable time, have an enjoyable time, have a time that you can remember. This moot court competition was also one of the eventual turning points in your career maps. We hope you are brand ambassadors. You go back as brand ambassadors of this moot court competition, and in case anything is amiss, please don't hesitate to share your views with the organizers. When your next batch comes, at least we'll be better prepared. And with this, I again thank the organizers to give me this opportunity to propose this vote of thanks, and it's such a pleasure, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody. Thank you. Sorry sir, I just forgot, for the first time, you know, law profession is a very boring profession, if I may say so, but somehow we've got a good number of sponsors. UCO Bank, and there are names of other sponsors. It's a first thing that has come into picture, and I think all the sponsors deserve also a very, very big vote of thanks from us. Because of their constant support, without finance, nothing moves. Because of their constant support, the services in way of whether it is your stay, whether it is your food and other arrangements can always be, has been made much better. So thank you once again.
Now, to pay respect to our nation, let us just stand in respect of the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
I now request our dignitaries to move to the adjacent lawn for the high tea. Students and participants, please stay here. Students, please stay behind. Don't move outside.